Good morning. Thank you so much for tuning in. So we're doing our runner special this week. So today we are looking at hips and glutes. You can go back over. We started on Monday doing our feet, our ankles and our calves. And then yesterday we worked a little bit more still in the calves, knee and then hamstrings. We're moving up hips and glutes area. We're actually going to start today lying down. So we'll lie on our back. And I just want you to just feel the spine, just feel the back of the body against the floor. And then you can bring just the right knee into the chest. Now, as you bring the right knee into the chest, I want your right sitting bone to stay in line. So often the sitting bone will kind of go out to the right. So keep the sitting bone straight forwards and press the thigh onto the front of the body. And then release, and then we'll switch legs. So as you pick up the left leg, so make sure that the outer hip, this area that I'm touching now, that's moving down towards the outer heel. And often what happens is this area rolls this way because of tightness. So keep the sitting bone in line, and then keep the lower back pressing down. Deep breath in and out. So this just releases the psoas muscle, which links the front of the hip underneath to the back of the hip. And now we're going to bring the right foot on top of the left and dorsiflex the right foot. And then out to left thigh, out to left knee, all the way to the floor. And then you're going to move the right knee away from the body. So the aim, well, there's no aim in yoga, but the what we're working towards is the right outer knee moving towards the left foot. And just take a few deep breaths in and out here. So especially also, if you are working at home and you're sitting on your computers, then this also tightens this front hip. So this just mobilizes this front hip flexor area. Deep breath in and out. And then you'll bring the outer left leg back up. Now keep the right foot where it is. We're going to do another posture. Thread the needle, it's sometimes called in English. So we bring the hands, we bring the left knee into the chest and then bring the hands behind the back of the leg. And still make sure that you're dorsiflexing your right foot. And you're moving left knee towards the body and the right knee away from the body. And you keep the sacrum, lower back pressing down evenly. Take a deep breath in and out here. And then you can release the hands, and then you're going to slide. So we're doing 3 poses on the right leg to start with. So you're going to slide the right knee on top of the left, and then you can bring the knees into the chest. And so just have the lower back even, the sitting bones even, as you bring the knees in, and you'll feel this on the outer glutes now, sides of the hips. And then release the hands and release the legs. And then we'll do those 3 poses over on the left leg now. So dorsiflex the left foot, and then out to right knee, out to right foot to the floor. And then you're moving the left knee away from the body. You're stretching the left knee towards the right foot. And take a couple of longer, deeper breaths in and out. So you're just releasing this front hip area, the hip flexor. One more deep breath in and out. And then bring the right leg up. So second pose for the left side, you're going to bring the right knee into the chest. Keep the lower back pressing down evenly. So left knee is moving away from the body. So you keep the evenness on the back of the body as you bring the right knee into the chest. Take a deep breath in and out here. And release the hands. And then we'll bring the left knee all the way over the top. So your left knee is stacking on top of the right. And then you slide the hands down the leg towards the foot, but make sure that you're not just pushing the pelvis out. So you want the hips to be even with the torso. And And just notice the difference between the two sides. Take a deep breath in and out here. And release the hands, release the legs, bring the knees into the chest. And then we'll roll over. So we'll do child's pose. Even though it's very simple, child's pose is wonderful for the hips as well. So we'll extend forwards because you start to release all of this area around the lower lumbar. If you think the spine starts in the base of the hip, so it's all connected. Legs, hips, spine. And then we'll come up onto all fours and we'll do downward facing dog. And lift the hips up. And take a few deep breaths in and out here. So make the legs straight. Work the front of the legs. Make the kneecaps really firm. Lift the sitting bones up. Make sure that the sitting bones are even. Take a deep breath in and out here. And then we'll bring the knees down. So we're going to do rock the baby pose. So from here, you bring your, let me do my left foot. So the right heel is going to go to the inside of the left elbow. And then the other arm wraps around and you'll rock. So it's called rock the baby. My yoga teacher says we've got to keep this mobility in the hips and the leg. Now, if that's too much, you can bring the arms behind the back of the knees. So you still want to get this lift of the chest. So if that's really hard for you and you're rounding like this, go back down and repeat this pose because it's the same action. If you see, it's the same action in the knee and the leg. And so this is lovely. So we just do a couple more rocks. You can just release the left leg out and take a deep breath in and out here. And then release the leg down. Now, as you release the leg, can you see I'm really careful, holding on to the outer ankle and the outer knee, and then carefully placing the foot down, and then we'll change. So we'll bring the left leg in front. So the left heel, you place it on the crease of the right inner elbow, and then the left arm wraps around the knee. Or you're going back to this same variation here, so that you can keep the chest lifted and broad. So don't collapse into the back for this posture. Lying down is just as efficient as sitting up in here. We just take a few more times, just rocking back and forth, just releasing in the hip joint. And take a deep breath in and out here. And then carefully hold on to the outer ankle, outer knee. So you come into this position as cautiously as you do the poses, and then you can just sit and just feel the two sides of the hips and the knees. So last pose, we'll come up onto all fours, and the right leg is going to go over the left, and then the outer left hip is going towards the heel, and then you slide back. So keep both sides of the chest even. You can come down onto your forearms. And then keep gripping the outer left hip and moving it over towards the right. Take a couple of deep breaths in and out here. And then bring the hands up. Come back to tabletop position. And then if you don't have enough space like me, then you can just turn around and then you'll bring the left leg over the top. So you're sliding outer right hip and slide the leg out to the side, turn the chest, turn the abdomen to face forward. You can come down onto your forearms. Keep the head of the shoulders moving back so you're not collapsing into the posture. And deep breath in and out here. I know this one's a killer if your outer hips are tight. And then come back onto the palms. And then let's do one more downward facing dog. So open and spread the hands. Press the hands down and lift the hips high. And just feel the difference in the legs and the hips. Take a deep breath in and out here. And then bring the knees down. Fantastic. Thank you so much for joining today. So that was our runner special based on the hips and the glutes. So tomorrow we'll move more around the torso, shoulders, arms. I know when we're running, these are also areas that we're using, even though we predominantly think about the bottom half of our body. So thanks so much for joining, and I will see you tomorrow.